A very good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. Welcome to UBC News tonight. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha SSENYONGA. Let's take a look at our top stories of the day. In our top stories of the day, Samia Suluhu succeeds Magufuli as Tanzanian president. Still to come, Mbara District presents a 30 billion Ugandan shillings budget for 2020-2021. Iowa City gets an ultra-modern central market. Boxers Nanzidi Kavuma for 2020 Olympics. You're still watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda, and welcome once again to UBC News tonight on the 19th of March 2021. In our top stories of the day, Samia Suluhu has sworn in as the 6th President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Following the demise of President John Pombe Magufuli, she becomes the first woman president in East Africa. Ms. Samia used her inaugural speech to urge for barring of differences and repeatedly gave assurance of stability.
Naapa kwamba katika kutekeleza madaraka niliyopewa kwa mujibu wa Katiba ya Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, nitatetea na kudumisha umoja wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania kwa mujibu wa Katiba.
It is very sad and unfortunate that Tanzania lost their president, but also congratulations to Ms. Suluhu. In more stories, President Sharon MUSEVENI has said Uganda succeeded in managing the spread of COVID-19 pandemic by taking tough preventive measures after listening to science and knowing the mode of its transmission. President MUSEVENI was this afternoon with a delegation of officers, men and students of Kenya Staff Defence College, Karen, who paid a courtesy call on him at State House in Entebbe. The 30 officers, led by the representative of the commandant of the Kenya Defence College, Colonel Joseph Kiswa Sankalia, from the countries of Kenya, Burundi, Egypt, Rwanda and Uganda. The delegation, that was accompanied by the Chief Political Commissioner, UPDF Major General Henry Matsiko, has been on a one-week regional study tour to Uganda and has visited various locations in the country that included, among others, industrial parks in Kapeka. President MUSEVENI was responding to an observation made by Major Wary of the Kenyan Army on how Uganda managed to contain the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. President MUSEVENI told his guests that the stance the government took was to close all schools, where over 15 million pupils were sent home. Transport was closed and other tough measures taken that reduced the number of those who succumbed to the disease, including prominent Ugandans, to only 330 in 1 year.
For accepting us in the State House of Afande. It's a very rare opportunity, and we really appreciate.
The biggest, what I would like to mention to you is to build a new society, a modern society of Africa based on prosperity. But you cannot do it unless you consolidate Uzalendo, then you consolidate Pan-Africanism, and then you ensure socio-economic transformation so that you have a modern society.
Recently, the Commonwealth Secretary General, the Right Honourable Patricia Scotland, lauded you for the proper response to COVID-19 pandemic in Uganda. And she even cited that Uganda is one of the Commonwealth model countries among others like Bangladesh, New Zealand, and Barbados that have gone further to develop on local vaccine. What is your opinion on a common approach to COVID-19 challenges within the region? Thank you, sir.
The way we manage corona, that was the first question. We could see it was very dangerous. It was very dangerous because we never play with such things. That's how we had also managed AIDS, because AIDS, when it came, we had to tell our people frankly that this was very dangerous. So even when this corona came, when I listened to what the scientists were saying, you could see that on the one hand, it was easy to stop because it was through breathing, and breathing, it wouldn't go through the arm or through the leg. It would go through the mouth, the nose, and the eyes. 3 points. So then we said, but yes, if this is the case, on the one, and once it attacks you, it was quite dangerous. It would either kill or maim in some cases. So the question was, why do we take this risk? That's why we had to immediately close the schools.
In more news, Cabinet has approved financial bailouts for different sectors of the economy in a bid to help the country recover from the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. Key among the earmarked sectors to benefit from this development include the agricultural sector, tourism sector, and development. Support to private schools is also under discussion.
For the last 1 year, Uganda, like other economies across the world, has been grappling and struggling to survive the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is indisputable that Uganda's COVID-19 curve is nearly flattening, with only a handful of cases in stock. With this, different pockets of the economy are reportedly recovering, though not yet completely stable. The government spokesperson and director Uganda Media Center, Ofono Pondo, says plans are underway to bail out selected sectors.
First and foremost, the agriculture sector, particularly under the Operation Wealth Creation, so that those vulnerable groups that are being attended to by Operation Wealth Creation in inputs, in planting materials, in livestock, in advisory services, those continue to be supported so that the small economy, the small informal economy fully recovers. So the support, the bailout is going to sectors. Those sectors know themselves, and the companies, the individual businesses they are in should therefore put their books of accounts in order, because government bailout will go to the most organized. Companies that had shortlisted workers.
Opondo, however, advises other sectors like the education sector that was equally affected by the COVID-19 to wait as government and other stakeholders continue dialoguing on the best recovery package.
Of course, there are discussions between the government and the sectors that were not mentioned. For example, there's ongoing consultation between the government and private schools, proprietors of private schools. Should the government of Uganda pay tuition, for example? Should the government of Uganda forgive, for lack of a better word, the tax due? Should the government of Uganda accept to receive tax due in installments?
Recently, Government embarked on the easing process for the education sector, starting with the candidates and finalists, and soon the lower classes are hoped to open late May. Meanwhile, government has called on the public to report cases of brutality to police for possible compensation.
Now, there are injured people. Injured people, most likely, we expect that majority of them are already or have already gone through hospitals. We want to appeal to them to keep their medical records meticulously, so that when this comes and they approach you, then you're able to show the expenses you incurred on the treatment and other inconveniences.
Ugandans have also been asked not to lower the guard against COVID-19 pandemic and also continue observing all the set standard operating procedures. Early this month, Uganda received 964,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine, and it is hoped that very soon another 17 million doses will be secured. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Dorcas Kimono, for that wonderful story in depth. Now, the Katikkiro of Buganda, Peter Charles Mayiga, has urged leaders at different levels to carry out their work efficiently for effective service delivery. Mayiga was officiating a 2-day retreat for Buganda leaders to Butikiro House, Mengo.
Buganda leaders are holding a 2-day retreat for year 2021 at Butikiro House, Mengo in Kampala. The Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, officiated the retreat. Katikkiro Peter Mayiga emphasizes the use of perfection and transparency during service delivery.
You must have passion for your work. Otherwise, you will get broken into pieces. Ekintu kyonna bw'otakiteeka mu kwagala kikukooya nnyo n'okusinga bwe kyandikukooyezza. You must innovate. You must have initiative. You must have, new ideas. Buli lw'otayiiya osigala mu kifo kimu. Kubanga olwo ojulidde kujuliza bizibu buli lukedde.
The Katikkiro urged the leaders to embrace the digital technology for ease of their daily duties.
If you don't embrace communications, you are doomed. Owedde mweyambe ebyempuliziganya emitimbagano weegiri kwamba buulire abantu bagenda na bintu bigenda teri muntu ayagala kutambula na kintu ekiwenyera mujje mukigendere ne bwe biba bintu bitono nnyo ekintu abantu bakiraba nga kitambula kigenda mu maaso nabakyeyunira tunaagenda tutya ku ntikko nga abantu bitukola tebabimanyi.
They advised the Inspectorate of Government to always cross-check with government organs in order to address their accountability issues.
Tetwagala muntu yenna akolera bintu wansi wa mmeeza okukuta. Era ofisi y'akalondoozi weeri si kukwata babbi naye okulaba nti ebintu bitambula mu bulambulukufu. Era bwe tobikoze mu bulambulukufu bayinza okuyita omubbi. Naye ng'ekiruubirwa kulaba nti ebintu tubikola mu bulambulukufu. Tosobola kutwala Buganda ku ntiko nga toli mulambulukufu.
The first Deputy Katikkiro of Buganda, Professor Twaha Kawase Chigongo, highlighted the importance of a retreat to Buganda Kingdom's leaders in improved service delivery.
Omulamwa gw'olusirika olwaleero kutunuulira emyaka 2 n'ekitundu ekisooka bye twateekateeka okukola mu myaka 2 n'ekitundu tubikoze.
Leaders from all counties that make up Buganda and others are representing different kingdom organs attended Buganda Retreat 2021. Andrew Sebira, Helen Barbara for UBC News.
Parliament has been blamed for the gross human rights violation in the country. This emerged during a sub-regional meeting organized by the Parliamentary Committee on Human Rights that is currently traversing the country to take stock of the human rights violation that happened during the recently concluded election. Police and other security agencies were also put on spot for detaining and assaulting opposition supporters, just like you're about to watch.
Parliamentary Committee on Human Rights is currently traversing the country to take stock of the human rights violation from the recently concluded election. For Laon Sub-Region, the meeting took place at LIRA District Council Hall, where several cases of violation of human rights emerged and got confrontational between politicians and security agencies who alleged that most of the issues did not have evidence for the committee to report.
Sometimes the rest, which I feel like, sometimes it's not very genuine. As a leader, I know the other is look at me. I should mention this. Because
no, make it here. It has gone on record. When you are already prepared.
We are not here for court. I don't know the time I'm going to give you the names.
This is actually creating an intimidating environment.
Let us speak the truth to help your committee generate a report that will help this nation. If we must find a solution to our security problem.
However, calm was restored by Agnes Kaka, who was chairing the session.
On the directive of the Speaker to do an inquiry into the violations that marked the 2020-2021 general elections.
We will make the Constitution of Uganda ensure that the chapter on parliament precedes that the president, the executive, and the judiciary. Because when parliament is strong and independent, things go well in the country.
In his submission, Daniel Lomaratubu, who lost in the recent election in Otuhe County East, noted that during the election, security agencies took sides. Atubo suggested the security personnel removal from active politics.
I was acting on orders from above, and I'm very happy that Maratubo and Sylvia failed. Now I'm going to get my promotion. When you mobilize the state structure and the police for a particular candidate, you have totally undermined that important concept which is here in our Constitution, Article 60, 61, and 62.
Meanwhile, the chairperson FDC for LIRA District, Boni Otiamagongson, says the committee's recommendation should be implemented.
Maybe up that the movement people are now quite more. So it's not about leadership and the man of leadership. It's about the right person, a human being.
However, Angelina Osege, a committee member, said the committee should take interest in the issues raised because the narrative is the same everywhere the committee has been. Ediolwa for UBC News in Lira City.
You're still watching UBC News. It is in Gomba, Zimbabwe, to help residents use their land profitably while government provides them with training and inputs. In 2011, the president held sensitization meetings with the villages of Kirasi, Kajumiro, Kisozi A, Kisozi B, Kikuma, Dungu, Butugu, Lutunku A and Lutunku B in Gomba and Zimbabwe. Covering one Zimbabwe, the president provided the seed inputs, including beans, maize, groundnuts, poultry. The project, which is gender inclusive, has helped women like Nuriat Twaha realize the dream.
Could be village in Zimbabwe district. She's a beneficiary of the Poverty Alleviation Project, PAD, of State House.
Twaweerezebwa ekibiina kya PAD ne kituyigiriza okukola ne kyasooka kutuwa emmwanyi, kyasooka tuwa bijanjaalo ne kituwa kasooli ne kituwa.
PAD trained Nuriat and others in modern agriculture and equipped them with pangas, hoes and slashers. Then PAD provided them with cassava stems, maize, beans, coffee seedlings and matoke suckers. Later they also got animals.
PAD batuwa ente batuwa nga tulina okuddiza omulala, ente bwe yazaala ne tuddiza omulala. Kakati essaawa eno tulina ente tuzijjamu lita z'amata 40. Buli lunaku tusobola okufuna emitwalo 28. Omwezi gye emitwalo 8 nga mwena.
From the cow project of milk per day, earning her a daily income of 28,000 shillings. PAD also assisted the farmers to get piped water which they use for watering their animals.
Batuwa embuzi 5. Ku mbuzi 5 tusobodde okulunda kati tuli mu mbuzi 8.
PAD gave her 5 goats, but after some years, she has for her children and cater for household needs. She has also been able to renovate her old house using money from the goat project.
Tuwerera abaana ze sente zituyamba okuwerera abaana ze zituyamba okubeerawo okutubeezaawo nga wano ewaka basic needs nula era ezo zonna sente za paadi bye baatuwa bye tuzze tukola.
Nuriat established a coffee plantation on 5 acres of land. On maturity, she has been able to earn 24 million shillings annually from the project. She also has a matoke plantation established on 2 acres of land, from which she earns 4.8 million shillings. In summary, Nuriat is able to earn 0.8 million shillings from 2 acres of matoke and 10 million shillings from milk, totaling to 38.8 million shillings. This excludes the money she gets from goats.
Kubiriza abakyala bannange mwenna abali eyo nammwe bwe baba balese ebibiina bya paadi nammwe mweyungeko nammwe mujja kusobola okukola nammwe muve mu bwavu nammwe mutiyituke nga ffe naffe bwe tutuuse wano gonna amaanyi ga pulezidenti ge yasobola okututeekamu ne tusobola okukola naffe ne tujja mu bwavu.
A very good story to watch right there. Now, Minister for Internal Affairs, General J.J. Odong has tasked the National Bureau of NGO'S to produce periodic reports on the performance of all the district NGO monitoring committees. The minister was launching the official National Bureau of NGO'S offices and their websites.
The Executive Director, National Bureau for NGO'S, Stephen Okello, asked government to support them for sustainable operations and recovery from the effects of COVID-19. This was echoed during the launch of the official National Bureau for NGO'S offices and their website, a ceremony officiated by the Internal Affairs Minister, General J.J. Odong.
Let's first have the initial 21 billion. A number of them have also lost their jobs. That means there are so many Ugandans out there because their organizations can no longer pay them. Because of COVID, they've actually lost the employment. And worse still, others have had to close because they can no longer run. They are no longer priorities with whoever was funding them. And that is an emerging issue which I think as a country we need to pay attention to, of NGOs becoming partisan and engaging in politics, where they are not supposed to be seen supporting any political candidate or party, but the incidences like that that have arisen, that are being handled too. There is a lot of either fraud issues and corruption in the NGO sector, where people are becoming more focused on wealth creation, which is overshadowing the original objective of serving in some of these NGOs and being volunteers. So,
Internal Affairs Minister General J.J. Odong said the retirees who have failed to comply with basic procedures.
Request the NGO Bureau to prepare and submit to me periodic reports on the performance of all the district NGO monitoring committees with a particular focus on those that are, as I have been told, do frustrate the NGOs and the government efforts.
The Executive Director, National Bureau for NGOs, says in the next years, their focus shall be on scaling up the compliance of the sector. Shaidat Nasaku, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Shaidat Nasaku. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories.
Yellow, how are you? Tell me, how do you do? We're here to show some appreciation for the things you do. Sent you for today, and they sent you for tomorrow. Sent you for every time and everywhere you go. We love you so, and we enjoy life with you. We are happy, happy, happy to know that we will go with you. That's why we say, sent you, sent you, sent you, yeah. Sent you.
Thank you for choosing MTN. Use MTN mobile money, bundles or other services to get Thank You points. The more you use, the more Thank You points you get. We look forward to many more years together. Thank you.
Bannayuganda bannange, tukimanyi nti tuli mu kaseera ak'akazigizigi ak'obulwadde bwa COVID-19. Wabula tetusaanye kwerabira nti waliwo endwadde ze tubadde nazo okumala ebbanga ddene, era nga mu ndwadde zino mwe muli bilharzia wamu n'ebiwuka ebireeta okuzimba mu mbuto zaffe, trachoma ng'onaleeta okuziba amaaso, wamu n'enjovu ereeta okuzimba ebigere. Endwadde zino ziruma bangi okwetooloola ensi, naye okimanyi nti ziyinza okwewalibwa ng'okola bino wammanga. Ekisooka, okubanga mu ngalo ng'okozesa sabbuuni n'amazzi amayonjo. Ekirala, okunaabanga feesiyo ng'okozesa sabbuuni n'amazzi amayonjo. Weewale okukwata mu maaso n'engalo enkyafu. Bulijjo kozesanga kaabuyonjo. Era vumirira nnyo omuze ogw'abo abagenda nga beeyambirayambira bwe basanze ku kyalo kyo, kubanga kino kireeta ensowera ate ezireeta obulwadde. Buli lw'owulira nga tewawulira bulungi, okubirizibwa okugenda mangu eri omusawo. Era jjukira okukuuma obulamu wamu n'okwekuuma ggwe. Obubaka buno buva mu minisitule y'ebyobulamu ng'eyambiddwako Ascend Project.
No one should stop you from finishing what's yours. That's why MTN gives you data bundles that don't expire. Load MTN Freedom bundles using My MTN app and enjoy the freedom to finish your data bundles.
MTN.
Today tastes like a new tradition, like an old favorite. Tastes like all hands on deck and all eyes on the prize. Today tastes like a piece of the action. And it never tasted this good.
Stay connected to the largest 4G network in Uganda, anytime, anywhere, using the Airtel 4G Pocket MiFi, available at only 123,000 Uganda shillings. This comes with 15 GB free, valid for a month. You can connect up to 10 users at a go and still enjoy a shared yet unmatched internet experience. Dial *175*9# to activate free 15 GB. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get one today. Airtel, the smartphone network. Airtel is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Water and environment means different things to different people. Did you know that water is the foundation of life, societies? And did you know the environment plays an important role in healthy living and existence of the earth? What does water and environment mean to you? Be part of the Water and Environment Week 2021, themed Water and Environment Security for Social, Economic Transformation of Uganda. The Uganda Water and Environment Week, starting 21st to 26th March 2021. The guest of honor will be the Sir of the Republic of Uganda, Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda. Join us as we discuss the importance of optimal utilization and management of water and environment resources for